up, everybody? It is now time for the Kevin and Nikee Show, your favorite radio show on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Overdose. It's time for the Kevin and Nikee Show. They gon' have it lit up. Yeah, you know, it's time for the Kevin and Nikee Show. They got the airways popping every city across the globe. It's time for the Kevin and Nikee Show. They gon' have it lit up. Yeah, you know, it's time for the Kevin and Nikee Show. They got the airways popping every city across the globe. You know him as a dope actor, Kevin D. Bitten. 360 twice, Jim, how he keep winning. And you know the baddest actress, Nikee Warren. She so bad you walking past, she had you speaking for her. If you ain't tuning in, this your reality check. You might miss out on your favorite star celebrity guest. When they celebrate, what you do, you get the bell, yeah. During Kevin's corner, get inspired and encouraged, yeah. Bend them corners, while you listen, but don't swerve. Find out what's getting on Nikee nerves. What's bothering Nikee? What's bothering Nick? What's bothering Nikee? What's bothering Nick? Keep on playing. Me and Kevin Coons and we gon' get you hit. Yo, check us out on social media. In your mobile phone, we everywhere. You ever stations played out like a ringtone. Follow me like Bino R-E-M-E-Y. Bino Remy. Pop like Semi. And my flow hotter, thicker semi. Been doing this since I scraped up pennies. But back to the subject, Kevin Nikee.
I know. See, I'm glad you said it. Don't get reminded of it. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
What is he saying now? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? No. Are we there yet? No. Are we there yet? No. No. No.
Anyway, we are back for another exciting week, another exciting show, another exciting episode, another exciting edition of the Kevin Nikee Show on iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
I'm actor Kevin D. Benton.
And I'm actress Nikee Warren.
And we are back.
Yeah.
We're back.
You know that was a movie.
What's that?
Are we there yet? That was a movie with
Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Ice Cube. It was a good movie too. I think Nia Long was in it.
And Nia Long played the mother,
Yeah, I think it was two of them. It was Are We There Yet? And then it was another one.
Are We There Yet? And then I think it's Are We Done Yet?
Are We Done Yet?
Remember, Nia Long had the children.
Right.
And Ice Cube, was trying to holler at her and everything, and the kids was trying to sabotage their relationship.
Yeah.
Kids are crazy. When they don't like you, they will try their best to sabotage.
They sure will. But you know what?
They were trying their best to sabotage their relationship.
Yeah, they sure was. I got to give a shout out to Cube, man. To go from, rap, hip-hop legend to, he's a really good actor.
He really is.
Ice Cube is a very, very good actor,
He really
man.
is. He
and
really
how
is.
he has transcended from rapper to actor to Big Three. Like he has, of course, a global brand. But when you're able to go from hardcore or to Are We There Yet, you've made some transitions that were marketable.
Right.
Very marketable.
Right.
So he can play the hard-nosed, tough guy, but he can also play the dad and Are We There Yet? And it's like nobody had a problem with it.
Because he wrote Friday.
He wrote Friday.
Yeah, he wrote Friday.
He's an excellent actor, writer, director, producer.
Yes,
him and his son. So yeah, man. So
yeah, him and his son. His son looks just like him, just a little lighter.
Yeah, he look like
A
him.
little taller too.
Yeah.
He got Cube by maybe a couple of inches.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, man. I love to see people, reach a high level in one art or one career and then transcend to another one and do just as well. I mean, it speaks to the creativity of that person, and you know, of course, the professionalism, the discipline, and things like that. It's not easy to do to excel at one art and then go into another field and excel at that art. That's not easy to do at all. And Cube is doing it, and now he got the Big Three going on, which is been nothing but a success, and he's doing his thing, man.
He really is. He really is, and I'm very, you know, proud of him.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, all of them are, you know, doing their thing. And, you know, all of them doing their thing. That's gonna be us soon.
Yeah.
That's gonna be us.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, man, absolutely.
And you know what? Before we get into it, I just want to give a big shout out, congratulations to Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
I don't know if all of you seen Tyler Perry's post on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook as well. He was on his way to work, and he was driving in Atlanta. He's in Atlanta. You know, the studio is in Atlanta. And he was on his way to work, and he was driving, and he saw this big old sign that said Tyler Perry Studios, 1 mile.
Yeah,
I mean, that he said he got teary-eyed, and you know, he talked about in his post how he came from nothing.
Yeah.
He came from nothing, and look where he is today. And you know, it's pretty much words of encouragement to keep going, keep praying, keep pushing, keep grinding, because it can happen for you too.
Yeah,
you know, and you know, shout out to Tyler Perry. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I know that it's just awesome to be driving and see your name up there.
You know, between that and seeing your name or your face on a billboard.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That has to be an overwhelming, you know, experience. And then to think about your humble beginnings, where you come from, how you started out. As Drake said, started from the bottom.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Now you're here.
Started from the bottom, now my whole team here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know, one thing I could say about Mr. TP, man, he's a great human being.
Yeah.
I mean, he helps people.
Yeah.
He helps people, but you know, it stems from the fact that he was helped.
Yeah.
Because it was TD Jakes that helped him. And so he's what you call paying it forward.
Paying it forward.
Of course, you can't help everybody, but he's helping somebody. He's helping a lot of people. I mean, there's been a lot of stories in the news where people's houses have burned down and he bought them a new house. He bought them a car. You know, just those kind gestures. And, you know, a very, very business-like, professional man, but humble in terms of having a consciousness and understanding of humble beginnings.
Yeah.
Of being homeless, sleeping in your car, and all that old stuff.
Yeah, and remember that young lady who put up that billboard, you know, for Tyler Perry to, you know, hire her. He actually hired her.
Really?
Yeah.
But you know what he said? He said, that's not the way to get my attention. Just come audition for me.
Yeah, that's not the way, but he hired her, though.
Right.
He hired her, though. Yeah, so everyone was talking about that as well.
But, you know, I got to give a shout out to that young lady because she was doing the innovative, creative, think outside the box thing. And sometimes you have to do that.
Sometimes you have to do that.
You know, you got to do that thing that grants you that positive attention. You know, you got to think outside the box. You got to, you know, so yeah, that's great stuff.
You know, and I agree with what she did because everyone goes out to the audition, the cattle, as we call it, and she did something totally different. He didn't like it like that, but he still got her though.
Right. She stood out.
She stood out.
She stood out. You know, and that's the whole thing, man, is to stand out and make yourself rememberable. Well, Memorable. Yeah, make yourself memorable. You know what I'm saying? And
say rememberable.
Remember. I was thinking about remember. So yeah, like even when you go in for an audition, you know what they say? Own the room.
Own the room. That's right. Own the room.
Yeah, own the room.
Own the room. That's right. 100%. Yep.
Good stuff. So we always got some things to talk about. Things on the horizon, things on the way, things we're involved in. And so with that being said, it is now time for the many adventures of Kevin and Nikee.
Here we go. About to get into it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right, man. It's just been an awesome week. It's been an awesome week. You know, busy. And when you go first, go ahead. I like it when you go first.
You don't know what to say. That's what it is. That's what it is. Well, look, I'm going to put it back on you.
It's just so much.
I'm going to put it back on you. Of course, we always on our lines.
Yes.
Auditioning, waiting in the pocket to hear back, working while we're waiting.
Yeah.
But you debuted in a big film.
Oh yeah.
Every Time I Die.
Every Time I Die.
Which is on Amazon Prime. Guys, y'all gotta go check. Y'all gotta check this movie out.
Check that out.
It's a real good movie. Nikee and I played nurses in this movie. Nikee got some really good screen time in there. She was like one of the primary major nurses in the film.
You know why, right?
Well, you're trying to save the life of the lead character. What?
No. In my head, I heard your voice. Nick, be where the camera is. Be where the camera is. So when I went in there, I went right towards the left side of that bed because the camera was right there.
But and it's so interesting because out of all the people that was in the room, the camera only caught you and the doctor. So yeah,
because I heard you in my head.
Yeah, it looked like it was just you and the doctor, but it was actually people on the other side of the bed.
It was people on the other side.
Yeah.
And I remember you was like, Nick, be where the camera is.
Yeah,
know where your cameras are.
Always know where your A and B cameras are. And if you can, within the scope of the director's vision and directors, get in the way. Get in the way of those cameras.
That's right. Get in the way of those cameras.
She got some really good screen time. And it was really great. She did a great job. She was very believable. Y'all got to go see it. Go to Amazon Prime. Check out Every Time I Die. It is a really good movie about a man who gets murdered, and then he's trying, through his consciousness, he's trying to warn his friends about who the murder is. And then at the end of the movie, and of course I'm not giving it away, he finds out what the real reason why he was trying to warn his friends about who the killer is, other than so that they wouldn't get killed. It's going to be a really crazy reveal at the end, and it's a real good movie. It was a very high production movie, and go check it out, Amazon Prime. So
Amazon Prime.
Nick did a good job, man.
Yeah. Shout out to you because you were in it too.
Yeah, I mean, I did my little walk down the hallway, looking at the folder, looking at my folder, about to go to my next doctor appointment case, whatever.
Stop.
I was in it. I got a film credit. So that's always a positive thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my neck hurt.
Yeah. So
my neck hurt. It's like really. I think I slept wrong.
I slept with the air conditioner.
Yeah, I did. Now it's all stiff and stuff. I need what is it? Chiropractor?
That's for your back. That could be for your back.
Yeah, I think I may need one of those.
Yeah. So other than that, we're still in pre-production for Second Chance.
Yes, we are.
And
we may have to fly out for this one.
Yeah, film
we may have to fly out.
I'm looking forward to that. Also, go to Amazon Prime. Please check out the Free Meek documentary TV series. It is very powerful. It's going to shed a lot of light on justice reform, the need for it, social injustice, and it's real powerful. It's based on court documents, actual court documents, personal testimony, and real life events that happen. And you got to go check it out, and it's going to really revolutionize your thinking and your perspective towards justice reform, judicial system, and things like that. And once again, as I said on previous shows, I was really disappointed at Philadelphia. There's no perfect city, but our system is corrupt. I'm just putting it how it needs to be said, not sugarcoating anything. And these are some issues that need to be addressed, and hopefully Meek Mill's story can bring about change for those men and women who are in prison who don't have the backing of a Jay-Z,
very important,
a Rick Ross,
because a lot of people came out and helped him with that, and he had the financial backing. But like you said, for those men and women who don't have it, we got to talk about that.
Yeah, because you got innocent people in jail. You got innocent people in jail. They got another story out that's in theaters called the Brian Banks story. I remember I was actually friends with Brian Banks on Facebook back in 2011.
Yeah.
And after I went through that phase, I kind of got off and things like that. And so I was very familiar with his story. And then now they have a movie out. And so it kind of reiterates the need for something to be done, because you do have a lot of innocent people in jail. People are being framed. People are being lied on by police officers and all kinds of stuff.
Absolutely. And we need to talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need to talk about that.
And I'm just glad we here at the Kevin and Nikee Show are able to use our voice to make a difference, use our platform to make a difference, and even endorse those that are making a difference. Also, gang, please check out the website for Mulatto. A couple weeks ago, we had Catalina Ario on the show.
Yes.
Talking about Mulatto. So go to www.mulattocat.com. That's www.mulattoCap.com. Check out the cast, and you might see two familiar faces and hear voices that you hear on a weekly basis in the cast lineup. But it's going to be an awesome movie, a highly anticipated feature film, and we're looking forward to that.
Every time you spell that, I get this song in my head. METHOD.
Man.
I just want to come behind you and spell it. METHOD.
That was the joke, man. I remember that.
But it's in my head. Every time you spell something, I'm like, METHOD. Bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we just, of course, like as I said earlier, sit back waiting in the pocket. Got some auditions that we're waiting to hear back from, and I'm optimistic that we're gonna hear back positively.
Yes. Yeah.
Can't forget. Saturday, June the 14th, the News and Honor.
I'm looking forward to it.
Is up again.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, they're nominated. Both of them have been nominated again for
the CETA Award.
Best Short. And so Nikee has been nominated Best Actress. Logan Jenkins and I have been nominated Best Actor.
Yes.
And so shout out to the Jai production crew. Jessica J. Manuel, Logan Jenkins, Nikki Warren, and myself. So we're looking forward to the CETA Awards at the Jamaica Performing Arts Center.
Sure is.
Saturday the 14th. It was a movie called Saturday the 14th. Remember it's Friday the 13th? It was a kind of comedy movie called Saturday the 14th. You ever see that?
No.
It's a movie called Saturday the 14th. It's kind of like, is it a comedy? It's kind of like a comedy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a, comedy, scary movie. But Saturday the 14th, we're looking for Jamaica Performing Arts Center in Queens, New York. So
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, we're going to have a great time.
Awesome. I can't wait for that.
It's funny because they're calling theirs the gold carpet.
Nice.
I like it.
So do we have to wear gold?
You can if you want. I don't know. You
So-
gonna wear gold?
No, I ain't wearing no dark gold. You know what it make me think of?
What's that?
The Wiz. Gold,
Oh, yeah.
gold, gold, gold.
I had to save my rhyme, and now I got to change the time. You heard just what I said. We're gonna change the color to red.
But now that red is getting old, we're gonna change the color to gold. Gold to gold. Gold, gold.
That was my joy.
That was the movie.
The Wiz was the joy, yeah.
The Wiz was the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everybody come out with their jazzy dancing. I love the Wiz.
Yeah,
love it.
That's a classic.
That's a classic.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is a straight up classic.
So yeah. So Nick, let's tell them. We told them about Every Time I Die on Amazon Prime. So let's tell them about some of the other films they can find us in if they want to follow our journey.
All right, go to Amazon Prime again and check out the Covington Witches.
Yep.
Season 1, episode 1 and 2 is up there. We're going back now to film episode 3. Check that out. Listen, that series is awesome because you never know what happens when a bunch of witches get together. Check that out. Also on Amazon Prime, check out Mercy. Check out Mercy. Mercy is on Amazon Prime. Also on Amazon Prime is Emergency Landing. Check that out on Amazon Prime. Then go over to the Stars Network, Stars on Demand, and check out Jason's Letter. Check out Jason's Letter. Like I said before, Jason's Letter is about this young man who wrote a letter that will help end the police brutality.
Yes, sir.
Check that out. And what we got?
We got the news on YouTube.
On YouTube, check that out. The award-winning, multi-award-winning, The News,
right.
and multi-award-winning Honor is on YouTube. Check that out.
Go
check
to
that
actor
out.
Kevin D. Benton, actress Nikee Warren on YouTube, and check it out. We also got other clips and feature films up there, and so yeah.
Oh, and listen, you gotta check out actor Kevin D. Benton is in The Recession. Check that out. That's on YouTube. The Recession web series and Old Head. Check that out. He's in both of them. He's just completely awesome. Y'all, listen, you got to check out The Recession and what he says to this girl up in there. I'm trying to tell you, it is funny as crap. Hilarious. Go to The Reception web series on YouTube and check out Recession, and then also check out his crookedness in Old Head.
I stay playing like a crooked politician.
You stay playing a crooked somebody.
I do. And then I just wrapped the Impact Factor.
Yes, I can't wait to see that.
And I play a crooked. Well, I play a
again.
I'm not crooked. I have my crooked tendencies when it comes to people who I want to take down. I play a DA called Alistair Armstrong, and I have redeeming qualities. I hate corruption. I go after it, but I can't stand the mayor and his assistant. And my whole quest is to put them in prison. Yeah. And some of it because I want to be the mayor. So there's a little ambition there.
Oh, I knew it was something behind it.
Yeah.
Yes, and you got to check me out too. I'm so excited. I play a junkie,
Nick plays
y'all.
junkie. Yeah.
I play a junkie. I got my hair all over the place, and I'm itching and scratching.
Itching for scratch. Yeah, man. So you play the junkie and
I
Impact
play a
Factor.
junkie.
But it's gonna be a good movie.
Yeah.
Because, and shout out to Mr. Ken McArthur and the production team. They are doing a phenomenal, professional job. They're shooting this bad boy on a red eye.
They get the bell. Yes.
And so when the movie comes out and premieres, we're going to have Mr. Ken, some of the cast on the show, so we can talk about this movie. It's an ensemble cast type driven movie.
Okay.
Kind of similar to Crash. You know, starring Terrence Howard, Zoe Saldana, Ludacris. Kind of like an ensemble. And I'm going to go out on a limb. You heard it here first on the Kevin and Nikee show and say, if we don't get best ensemble, something's wrong.
No, that wasn't Zoe Saldana. That was the other actress.
That was Zoe Saldana.
Was it Zoe?
Yeah, it was Zoe Saldana. She's in it. Remember, she was the one in the car that was burning, and the cop went in there and saved her. The car was upside down. She was in there to go in there and save her.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called Crash. It's Crash. It's kind of like an ensemble cast, and this is a very, very super talented cast, man. Everybody's bringing the A game. Everybody one take Draking them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shake, baking, and quaking them with no faking them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So,
yes. Especially when I do my crackhead walk.
You gonna do your crackhead walk? That's right. You gotta do the crackhead walk.
When I do my crackhead walk over there to get my drugs, that's not funny, but you know.
Well, in the context of film and portrayal, it can be fun. It can be fun, but not in real life.
Right, not in real life. We don't support that.
Right.
In real life.
No, but what we do support is being a believable. You want to depict this in a believable way.
I was very believable. I was very believable, but you know we don't support you.
Right. Well, yeah, you know. Well, is this a public announcement? What's it called?
Public announcement.
A public not say no to drugs and
say no to drugs.
And what's the other one?
And stay in school.
Stay in school, don't be no fool.
Yes.
Say no to drugs and you'll be cool. Remember that? Who said that? Run DMC? Stay in school, don't be no fool.
You know,
say no to drugs and you'll be cool. That's Run DMC. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Yeah, totally back.
There you go.
But anyway, I think we have covered everything.
We covered everything.
So man, we ready for our special guest.
Yes.
Man.
We're gonna get into it today.
Yeah, it's gonna be another great show.
We're gonna get into it today. It's gonna be an awesome show because our special guest is High Life Fire. Babies and pacifiers.
Yeah, that's what's up. I'm excited.
Yes,
so
I'm excited because we're gonna be talking about so much.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah,
man. It's gonna be a powerful, impactful show, man. And it's going to stretch further.
Yes, it is. It's just gonna be awesome.
It's going to stretch further than acting and film and TV. Yeah, it's gonna be powerful.
Man.
So we're gonna take a break.
Yeah, so we're gonna take a break. But before we do, man, listen.
Man, let me just say this. There's so many positive things I can say about this brother who we're about to bring on the show. I follow him on social media. I've had the honor and privilege of connecting with him personally. I'm proud of his story. He's a super talented actor doing his thing on some of the biggest TV shows and movies in the world. And he's using his platform to make a difference in the lives of people. And it's going to be a powerful show. You're going to be so interested in hearing his journey, let alone finding out who it is. I'm not going to say his name yet.
He got to get the bell before you
go.
Yes.
And you're going to understand why we gave him the pre-bell before he come out. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, man, the next voice y'all going to hear is our special guest. This is the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. We're on iHeartRadio. We're everywhere, and we'll be right back.
Turn down, hell no, turn up, hell yeah.
My mouth is so bad, I ain't scared of nothing. They say he's so reckless. Monkey in the casket. Better hit the exit. I eat you for breakfast. Diamonds on my necklace. Guess that's what I'm blessed with. I'm a revolutionary. Part in my vocabulary. I don't even remember ever caring. See me when I'm in the cemetery. Legendary. Epic, I don't really care. So much in my head, I will let them know. It's so hard not to let go. I'm about to go. The closer that you get, they try to hold you back, but the close mouth don't get fed, no. Hey, can't nobody stop me, y'all. I ain't going nowhere. Not even for Obama, y'all. I'm a loose cannon. I'm coming for you. Running for you. Hope you're ready. Automatic. Ready. Hey. Fire, legendary. I guess it's all in my bloodline. If you keep writing me for my apology, you'll be waiting for a long time. Not so pathetic, I said it, I meant it. You don't like it, then I could care less. Not so pathetic, I said it, I meant it. You don't like it, then I could care less. I ain't sorry for nothing I said. One hand on the Bible, I ain't sorry for nothing I said. Kiana, you can blame it on Tiana. I ain't sorry for nothing.
Satisfy your sweet tooth with some tasty treats from the Brownie Shop. Fudge cupcakes, sweet potato pie, freshly baked bread, homemade ice cream, creamy chocolatey brownies, and much, much more. Check out their full menu on Facebook Brownie Shop or Brownie Shop 2019 Instagram. Get your next dessert from the Brownie Shop. Your sweet tooth will love you for it.
Urban Elite Beauty LLC is an online urban beauty supply store that serves both men and women in urban communities. Our goal is to provide quality beauty solutions for our culture and community. Most importantly, we want to instill in our friends the importance of loving thy hair, loving thy skin, and to love thyself. Check us out on social media, on Facebook at Urban Elite Beauty, on Twitter at dbenton71, on Instagram at urban_elite_beauty. And for more information, go to our website at www.urbanelitebeauty.com or email founder and CEO David Benton at dbenton@urbanelitebeauty.com or call 609-217-5292. Check us out and see what the Urban Elite Beauty experience is all about.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yes. Awesome.
That's what's up. All right.
Yes.
Go ahead, Nick. Take it away.
All right, man. I'm like super excited. I am super excited. Our special guest is an American professional. He's a multi-award-winning actor who made history by being the recipient of the Newsom Awards Male Actor of the Year 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
He is known for some of the hottest shows on TV in the film industry, shows such as HBO's The Righteous Gemstones, TV One's For My Man and For My Woman, the ID channel Copycat Killers, Evil Stepmothers, and Who Killed Jane Doe, House of Cards, Greenleaf, Amazon Prime's Volcall, and What Men Want, starring the awesome Taraji P. Henson, The Available Wife, and much more. He is known for his role as Shine's bodyguard and goon played by rapper Exhibit on the Fox 29 hit show Empire, starring Taraji P. Henson and Terrence Howard. Now, our special guest, he is a multi-award-winning transformational speaker, multi-award-winning social justice advocate, and educator. Who are we talking about? None other than Mr. Charles D. Cook. Woo! Yes!
What's up, man? How you doing?
I am blessed and highly favored. I'm just honored to be on y'all's wonderful platform, and man, excited, super excited.
Absolutely, brother. Well, listen, man, before we get started, man, I know you're super busy. You stay on the grind, and so thank you so much, man, for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on the show, share with us, share with our listeners, share with the world.
Yes.
So I got to say that, yeah, most definitely.
Well, thank you as well. I mean, as being in this type of business or anything that you do, it's people such as yourselves that give us a platform to express and show our creativity. So thank you. I'm humbly grateful.
Oh, man.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you
awesome.
so
well,
much.
Let's jump right on into it.
Yes, let's jump right on into it.
Yeah, man. Oh, man. So, I mean, I'm like, I don't even, after that resume, I don't even know where to start. But I'm going to try to start from somewhere.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, you're on one of the hottest shows in the world. You're on Empire. Tell our listeners what it was like to rather get cast, get that email. What was that process leading up to becoming a regular on Empire?
Well, in the eyes of man, it wasn't supposed to happen, but through God, anything is possible.
Right.
I was working in the psychology field, making $20-some an hour, but acting has been my passion, which I'll get to the backstory. And when I first seen it, I've always been a Taraji P. Henson and Terrence Howard fan. I mean, collectively, those two together, chemistry on screen is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So when I heard about Empire, I was like, man, this was like the new black soap opera. But it was so diverse.
Right.
It was just, the bomb. But they only had extra work. And I was like, well, I wasn't even SAG yet. And I was like, well, you know what? Luckily, they was shooting in New York. But then I found out, even though the show was based on a New York setting, they were shooting in Chicago, which was like a 13-hour drive. And I had to do a lot of praying. I said, well, I don't want to do extra work, but I understand that you have to start somewhere, especially these type of shows, unless you have an agent and so forth. So literally, I drove to Chicago within a month and 2 weeks, 7 times. Drove.
Wow.
13-hour drive. As an extra, never got seen. Never got, noticed, in front of the millions of people. However, behind the scenes, people from the production and, ADs and so forth or whatever, they took a liking of me, because I was professional. Even as an extra, you have to understand you're still a professional actor. You just at the bottom shelf, working your way up. The eighth time that I went up there, they overbooked extras, so I was one of the overbookers. So since I drove so far, they told me, well, we got to put you somewhere. You drove this far. We don't want to, make you turn back around for nothing. So they stuck me on a set where it was exhibit and a crowd scene. We were celebrating the life homegoing of Stone, which was his brother, Nessa's brother. And it was actually exhibit's birthday. Long story short, one of the guys seen me, and he was like, man, it looked like you hit the weights, man. Like you can, do some damage. I said, I got a little backstory. I've been to prison before, and, I've been to prison. And he was like, you been to prison? I said, yeah, I did almost 8 years. I said, I was a real goon and hitter in the streets. But God changed my life around, so now it's just acting. And he looked at somebody on the stage, one of the goons, and he told him to get there and go in the crowd. He said, I want you to go up there. So I went up there. They did a camera test. It wasn't official day. It was just for that night. And I'll never forget, it was an 18-hour shoot. It was a long, long night. I mean, they're ordering pizzas and tacos and steak fajitas and stuff at 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it's Empire. It's Fox. They can do that, right?
That's right.
I'm sitting there beside Exhibit. He embraced with a brother, listened to him, about the hip-hop industry, the entertainment, all of his testimony, and it was his birthday. I was like, wow. So for that moment, I knew. I said, you know what? This is what I really want to do. And I drove home, and that 13-hour drive, for some reason, it was too short of a drive. I was dead in a natural high state. Like, wow, I've seen some of the biggest stars ever, historically wise. To me, it's an icon to me. 2 weeks later, I was just in a trance. I was like, man, I got to make this happen. I got to get on Empire. I got to, I got to get on as a feature or something. And my boss called me in and she says, Charles, we had a meeting and you can't take off anymore. She said, you have to pick between your job or your dream. And I says, well, for all due respect, a dream is not a job. It's my passion. Right. And I said, I'll put in my 2 weeks notice. There you go. And she said, well, Charles, you know what? I respect that. She said, can you give us 3 weeks? We got to find somebody. We need about 3 weeks. I said, you got that. Y'all been good to me. Y'all been great. So I put it in, and not even 3 weeks. In a week and a half, they found somebody. They let me go. But they say, you ever want to come back? We have a spot for you. And that same week, I got the email. And I was offered to be one of Sean Main Goon's reoccurring featured for the entirety of this character.
Wow.
And so yeah. 10 episodes. Yep. 10 episodes, 2 seasons, and all I know is when they first showed me on there, all these times with Sean to be with him and we doing all of the gangster stuff on Empire, everybody emailed me, called me, my followers increased, God just poured in because at that time, and what people was telling me to Charles, that one moment on that show is going to change your life. You realize that, right? And I was like, are you serious? And they say, watch what happened. And it happened. Then I ended up becoming SAG, and the rest is history. I love my Empire family.
Wow.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. Yeah, man, that is just so powerful, very motivational, very inspirational, very encouraging. Yeah. Definitely a theme of faith and stepping out on faith and going after what you believe in, your dream, goals, and aspirations. Now, you just mentioned how, you had been to prison. You're very open about how God took you from a then and now, before and after. You went from venom to victory, from trials to triumph. You went from fatherless at 6 to drug dealer to gangbanger to spending nearly 8 years in prison to multi-award winning actor on one of the hottest shows. Your grandma was a huge influence, man. Tell your story.
Yes.
Somebody needs to be encouraged and inspired that it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Exactly.
And we wanna harp on how you finish and what you're doing now.
Yes.
You know, and I want to make this very clear. My testimony, from what people have told me, they say it's one of the most phenomenal, brilliant testimonies ever. And I never could really see the way people see it, but then I understood why, which I will reveal in this. And every time I tell my testimony, I always reveal something new on every show. So there's going to be something very pure and new for y'all as well, in giving me this opportunity. So my father died when I was 6 years old. I watched when he took his last breath. He was in a truck accident, which was devastating. Every boy loved their father, and their father was the hero. Him and my mother got married 2 weeks later. Of course, it became a funeral. So that led to me into the streets. And you know, when you're in the streets, man, you're vulnerable. Where I was at, you know, the pimps, the killers, you know, drug dealers, I mean, all walks of life. They see that. They start calling me son and, you know, giving me a little money here and there, let me sit in there and brand new rice and turn the radio on all, you know, day and night and sip a little, you know, we call it street juice. But you know what that is, you know, liquor, you know, moonshine. You know, I'm a young guy feeling myself. You got late, here you is 13, 14-year-old, and you got half-naked women all up in your face and sitting outside the car, the juke joint. It's just a lot of craziness. And then I see some things. I see some things that most people would be like, oh, my God. And but I didn't want to lose that sense of having a father figure. I was like, wow, all these guys call me their sons. You know what I mean? Call me their sons. So it's like, well, you know, if I want to keep that, then I have to do whatever they say do. And I started making runs and doing things, you know, here and there. I started elevating. I got so good at it until it wasn't about my dad's death anymore. It was about somebody I was becoming. My conscience was numb. My heart started getting cold. I became what most people might call a monster. I put in some work on a lot of things, and thank God, God's a forgiving God. It was more of not about being gangster or like these guys portray on social media or on TV and stuff. It was more about pain. And when a person comes from pain, he's much more dangerous because he's not there for attention. He's doing all the act of pain. It's something that feeds his pain. So, of course, you know, you get in the game. I was a real live wire, you know, real doom. I was one of the top hitters for 3 of the biggest, most ruthless, you know, drug dealers in the areas that I was in. And they had mad love for me. I had mad love for them. You know, it was what it was in the streets. And I did what I was told. And like I say, I got good at it. And we know the ends to either prison or the graveyard. And well, I'm not dead, so thank God. And I went to prison, and I did almost 8 years. I was off for 13 months to tell, but of course, not just because of the street code, it's because of the person that I am. I take accountability for anything that I do. That's just my nature, street code or not. And during that time, I had time to talk to God and realize, like, wow, He let me survive to tell the story. Because how can I tell something I never experienced? So as God was reprogramming my spiritual mainframe, I started to realize why He kept me alive. He saw the greater enemy when the people saw the worst in me. And during the last part of my bid, my grandmother came to visit me. She never came the whole time because she didn't want to see me in a cage. And I try to tell people, county jail and penitentiary is a whole different ball field. It is. It's a whole different ball field. So it definitely was a cage. But anyway, she came to see me, and I'll never forget I was on the weight bench, and I hit 435 pounds on the bench. That was my next weight bench pressing. I was happy, you know, outside swole, and yeah. And they said, you got a visit. So I go up to the, to my cell. They said, your grandmother here, and your aunt, and your uncle. I said, my grandma. I'm like, all this time, and she's finally here. So I was excited. So I changed, got up to my green jumper. So I was at the camp at the time. Once you get close to your end of your bid and on good behavior, they put you in the camp for like your last, year and a half. So I was at the camp, and I was going to the visitor room, and when I saw her, I was just so much joy came over me. Before I could get over there, my aunt stepped in front of me like we were playing football. Like she literally blocked me, and she says, "Listen to me. Look into my eyes. Look at me." I said, "Auntie, what's going on? My grandma here. I haven't seen grandma in over 7 years." She said, "Look at me." I said, "Okay, I'm looking." She said, "Your grandmother is dying." I said, "What you mean she's dying?" She said she had dementia, and she had 2 brain tumors, and something she said she had. And she says, right now, your grandma think that you are your dad, and she thinks that this prison or this camp is a military base. My dad was a special forces.
Wow.
If you act like anything other than your dad, it's gonna put strain on her and make it, it's not gonna be a good situation. So I had to act like my father for the 2.5 hours of the visit. I remember everything that she told me about my dad. I remember things that I remember about my dad. I remember the things that other people told me about my dad. So as an actor, especially a method actor, you study the character. You find out the dislikes, the likes, the backstories, what they eat, what takes them off. You absorb that because in acting, they don't hire you for you. They hire you for the character you're supposed to play.
Right. That's it.
So for 2.5 hours, I stared in the eyes of my grandmother, watching her fade away, watching her die right in front of my face, while playing the very man who's my hero who's already dead, and that was her son. And I did mighty well because she was convinced I was my dad the whole time.
Wow.
And the last day she said, I took a picture with her. She gave me a hug. She gave me a kiss. She told the CEO at the front desk, she says, "My son has served his country long enough. Let him come home." And when she walked out, before I could cry, he started crying because he witnessed the whole thing because we was right there in front of the front part of the desk. And he says, he put his hand on my shoulder. He says, "Brother, I ain't trying to tell you what to do, and I know you're getting off soon." He says, "But if you don't do nothing else, you should be an actor." So what you just did was one of the greatest performances I've seen. Even the Oscar came compared to. You literally act like you're dead the whole time and did not cry. And I saw the pain in you, but you held it. And so when I do my speaking engagements, I tell people my grandmother gave me my first audition.
Wow. That is, man.
He gets
the bell. Man, that is powerful.
Crazy.
Man.
Wow.
That is very, very powerful.
Wow, that is powerful.
That's very, very powerful, man.
Wow.
Yeah, and it comes into this where people ask me, why do you want to be an actor? Why did you become an actor? Most people say, "Oh, well, it's my passion. It's what I was born to do," which is a bunch of bull. A lot of people just want to be an actor because of the money, the fame, the attention. Me, it's because my grandma sacrificed her last moment with me to show me this is what I'm supposed to do, and for that, I would never take it for granted.
Yeah. That's what you call a divine appointment that led you to step into your calling.
Yep.
And you walking in it, brother. You are walking in it. And, hey, man, to God be the glory, man.
Wow.
Amen.
That's powerful.
That's amazing.
That's
powerful story.
That's very powerful.
Very powerful.
Yeah, very, very powerful. And unique in its own right of something you've never heard before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was very, very powerful, man. And we already told our listeners what they was in for.
Yeah.
We told y'all what y'all was in for, but I'm telling you.
And your grandmother, she passed on, right?
Yes, my grandmother died 3 months later. She died right before I got out of the prison. It was devastating because when you get released from prison and go to the halfway house, you have what they call a release list. So it's really picking you up. Could come there, whatever. So she was on that list. She was supposed to have been there with my aunt and my mom. I was there when they came and got me, but she wasn't there, unfortunately. And what they did was they just told me that she's here. They said, I was like, "Can you feel her?" I said, "Yeah, I know she's here. She's here the whole time." So even till now, I can feel my grandmother. I can feel her hugging me. I can feel her nice, lavender scent. and just take compassion. And that's why when I go for a role or an audition, you know, I'm the guy that's known for taking extra background work and turning it into a regular or principal role. That's what I'm known for.
Right.
Because no role is too small. I'm the guy that would drive. Yeah, I'm the guy that drives 18 to 20 hours for an audition on the last 2 minutes and turn right back around and go to the next one. So when we talk about grinding as an actor and as a person who is passionate of their purpose, if you're not willing to die for it, you shouldn't do it. And and I say that because it's God given, and I would die for my God. I would die for him. He gave me the only begotten Son, and if I was willing to die for people in the streets that was doing the devil's work that I was a part of, how could I die for the man to give me life? It's his life. It's not mine. So I cherish it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, we about to take a collection for you real quick, man.
He got to get it again, man. He on fire.
Well, yeah, man. Well, first of all, you know, our condolences to your grandma, and definitely rest in peace, grandma.
Yes.
And you know, she's living on through you.
And I know she's smiling.
And she is very proud of you. We can assure you, man.
Yes.
And
very happy right now.
Yeah,
very
man.
Happy.
Just very everything you're saying is just so inspirational, encouraging, motivating, very, very powerful, poignant, and man, it's just refreshing.
Yeah. But
you talked about how you're taking your story. You are a transformational speaker, and an award-winning transformational speaker. Talk about that. You know what I mean? We kind of got the gist of your story, and then stepping into wanting to impact other people's lives. When you stand before people, talk about, you know, that endeavor.
Yeah. So with me, you know, a lot of people said motivational speakers. I came up with the word transformational speaker. I started that trend on social media. The reason why is because you can motivate somebody, but to me it's like a Band-Aid. To me, I want to perform surgery. I don't want to convince people how great they are. I want to show them and make them know how great they are. If I can convince you to live by that instead of knowing and living are two different things. So I want to transform a life, because transform means you completely leave one thing and become something else. Or if you're in the same realm of things, then you elevate to a different level, so you get upgraded. So whichever the situation may be. It's like, say, for instance, you don't change one side of the brakes to a car. You change both of them.
Right.
So, you know, I don't knock nobody who does inspirational work and motivation. I think anybody who gives their time and use their story to do that is great. My thing, I'm based on, I'm the guy that's going to tell you everything that people might be afraid to tell the crowd. For instance, I'm the guy that tells you that you're going to go through hell and back once you understand your purpose. You're going to be betrayed by your family, by your friends, even by your kids if they're old enough, or by, you know, even by your own, you know, your mate. If it comes down to it, the devil can get into that relationship. You're going to face financial struggles, or you're going to face depression at times. You're going to face all these things because the enemy holds a whole purpose of this right here. If this brother or sister understand what God has for them, he's going to destroy every plan that I have. So I have to attack them. If you don't understand that, I can tell you all day, you're going to do it. You're going to make it. You're going to be successful. But the journey behind that, the backstory behind that, that's what I tell the people. Yes, you're going to be great. Yes, you're going to make it. But you're going to go through a hell of a battle to get there. Be prepared. Because the enemy is come to what? Kill and destroy. We know what those words mean. They didn't say he's going to give you a free pass. Okay, well, I'm feeling good today, so I'm going to let you come on in and walk into your purpose. Are you serious? No.
Right.
So I train people how to be, my hashtag, champion made, warrior ready. I live by that. When the enemy comes, you are prepared. You are prepared.
I love it, man. I love it.
So when I talk to like most of these young kids I've talked to, you know, when you have somebody that goes to school for, you know, inspirational speaking, or someone who is into, you know, someone who hasn't really been through the experience, they can be articulate, they can look the part. But the first thing those youth are going to say, well, how do you know what I'm going through? What you going to tell us if you've been through it? Well, based on the studies, you're done. You're done.
Right.
But when I go to him, how do you know? Because I saw my dad take his last breath. I've seen more than 10 people get their head blown in front of my face. I've been involved in things that most people consider a nightmare because I was so far from God that the devil's my God, and the God that we serve now, I didn't believe that he would exist. That's how I know. You know, I had a gun put to my head many times, the trigger pulled and the gun got jammed. So I faced death. I slept with death. Can we keep on going?
Right. There you go.
Wow. Now you got to pay attention. Oh, wow, that's deep. I said, I know it's deep. And I said, but guess what, though? I went through all of that so you don't have to go through it. So now I'm going to show you. Yeah. We fast forwarded. I'm going to show you now what you need to do, okay? Because nevertheless, people will never think that Charles D. Clark would be doing the things he's doing now, and I'm just getting started. The first thing you have to do is acknowledge that you need a change in your life. And how you do that is understanding that you need to be restructured and recalibrated for the person that you're truly supposed to be. Then accountability. You can't be responsible for something if you're not accountable for it. It doesn't make any sense. That's one and all. So you have to be accountable to be responsible for the change that's needed and says, okay, God, work on me. All you have to do is say it. It's power of the word. Once you do that, now you have to be consistent. You can't do something, well, what I call a one-night stand. This is a marriage.
Right.
Your purpose is a marriage. One-night stands, we all ultimately know it don't last long. So you have to be married to it.
That's a good way of putting it.
I am the king of metaphors. That's
it. We love it, man. Keep it coming.
Yes. And that's the thing. And that's the thing about it. So for instance, what God has shown me. Now think about this right here. I became my most featured role that set my acting career off was on Empire as a goon. My first true crime detective role was on TV1, which led to the ID channel. I became lead detective interrogator. And if you look at my past, God used what I used to be into the things I'm doing now, but except in a good format.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Exactly. Exactly. It's a formula. And the thing about it is, I played a goon so well on Empire because I was actually in the streets. How do I play detective so well? Well, a little short story real quick. With TV1, I went on set. I was just an extra detective. It was like detective 1 through 5. I was literally number 5. And the main detective they had with the speaking role, he couldn't get his lines right. And they was getting frustrated. It's like, man, look, you know how production is. We got a time frame here. They went all the way down to Detective 4, and they still couldn't get it right. They still wasn't convincing on camera. And they got down to 5 to me. And not to boast, again, God gets the glory. The first time, I aced it. They says, you think you're not a real detective? I says, well, no, but I've been on the other side of this table plenty of times.
I've been so out after a few. You know what I'm saying? I know that's right.
Exactly. I know how they question you. I know how to get so from you. I said the only thing difference between me and the people that we're doing right now or portraying, I never gave them anything. That's why I did all the time in prison. I says, but nobody know a detective or FBI more than a criminal.
That's right. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Right.
Man, that's
so yeah. So for God to say, okay, I'm gonna put you on the other side. And when I was doing these roles as a detective, I remember how they drilled me, how they threatened me, how they tried to whatever. So I used that same aura, and it was like Charles. So now I've done 13 shows. It's a true kind of detective. And a movie as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? And I remember, like as they used to say in church lingo, there's nothing wasted when it comes to God.
That's right.
There's nothing wasted in your life. He can use the good, the bad, and the ugly, and turn it around where you change. We just change dance partners.
Yeah.
We dancers, we still dance, and we just change how we dance. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you dancing on the other side now, using the same experience and to God be the glory. You're touching lives. You're impacting lives.
Touching lives, impacting lives. You completely turned around, so much so where you are a advocate for social justice. Tell our listeners a little bit about that and what that means.
Well, before I got into before I got into acting, I started acting the year I got out of prison, doing web series, indie films, but I didn't hit the mainstream until 4 years ago. So before the mainstream era, during the Baltimore riot, we know that the Baltimore riot was international, was all over the world. It overexceeded the LA riot, actually. I mean, these were young kids turned in the city. I mean, it was horrific. Somebody who followed me on social media says, Charles, we know about your testimony. Can you come down here and to this meeting we're going to have? And, you know, we working in with Pastor, you know, Jamal Bryan and other, you know, high affiliates in the Baltimore area. And I'm just saying, I'm looking at the news and I'm just like, it's chaotic down there. You know, stuff get on fire, people, you know, shooting, whatever. And I said to myself, but I've been in certain war fields, so I know what it's like. So I wasn't scared is the fact that I have a daughter now. So I would put myself in that. And I prayed about it. And God said, you will return to your child as my child returned to me. And I said it again. God said, you return to your child as my child returned to me.
Wow.
And I said, okay. When they killed Jesus, he returned back to the Father. And through that, what happened? He set us free. So God was telling me by me going to Baltimore, there was something in my life that's going to die off to make me free to be greater than what I was. So I went there to Baltimore during the riot. I was actually there, and I was talking to people. I was helping, giving out water and food, and I actually went in there 3 times. The first 2 times during the riot, and then I went in there maybe not even 2 days, like a day and a half or whatever after the riot, when we was bringing peace back to Baltimore. And I was there with Pastor Jamal Bryan, other people, then at City Hall and stuff, for the One Baltimore movement. I was on the news briefly. I didn't really want to be on the news because they were looking for attention. I told them that. I was with the mayor at the time, Mayor Stephanie, and everybody came off the woodworks, radio shows, and all type of people want to interview me to get the inside scoop. And I told them, you know, my experience, and I told them how I prayed with some young people. I mean, these were people who was ready to throw stuff to the glass, who was ready to break people's cars. And I come up to them and say, hey, brother, don't do that. I said, you're a king. You're not a court jester. Let's pray.
I like that.
Wow.
You know, and I could have been killed. They could have said, who is this guy here? You know what I mean? And whatever. But, again, when you face death like I face, you fear nothing but God. That's it.
Right.
So, and that started going through social media, and I got 2 awards for that. And but it wasn't about the award. It was about the fact is that I was able to touch somebody's life. So when all that got out in the social media and you know, stuff spread, I had a radio show not a radio show. I had a segment on there which did very well. And then God told me, okay, now it's time for you to pursue your acting. Now that your name is getting out there. And what I found out is this, my brothers and sisters, is that if you only knew how many people on set, from A-list actors, superstar actors and actresses down to the director, the Hollywood director that I've prayed with, that I've talked to on a regular, that say that I brought something to their life, it brings joy to me to see that. And that's why I say I'm turning Hollywood to Godlywood. God have a purpose for me. My whole purpose, because my whole purpose, I want to make this very clear to all the listeners. I'm not here to be famous. I'm here to make God famous.
That's it.
And
that's why you're going to be famous. That's why you're going to continue to be famous, because you don't want to be famous. You want to make God famous, and he can trust you with the fame because you're going to keep deflecting it instead of absorbing it. And see, people don't get that. It's when you don't want it, it's when you get it, because you're going to give it away to who it belongs to.
Yeah, because Matthew McConaughey said the same thing.
You know what's funny that y'all say that? Exactly. I told somebody the other day, I said, only if God was a Popeye's chicken sandwich.
Yeah. You better talk about it. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh
man.
man. Oh man. I said this world, man, would be crystal clear.
Yeah. Absolutely, man.
That line was around the corner.
It sure was.
For that sandwich.
Yes.
And somebody put on Facebook, look at all these people standing out here for a sandwich. They need to be in church like that. The line around the corner
exactly.
to get to the church.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
That is crazy.
That is powerful, man. That is powerful, man. Man, just once again, for all our listeners out there, man, we talking to none other than the multi-award winning across the board, but he's doing it for the kingdom. Mr. Charles D. Clark, man, doing his thing, man. And we got him here on the Kevin and Nikee show. He actually should be getting paid for this. But you get this free here on the Kevin and Nikee show. Yeah, this is great stuff, man.
Now, listen, we got to talk about this. I know everybody, I hope everybody has seen the Meek Mill story and everything that he has been through in the Philadelphia prison system. Now he is the face of justice reform. Talk a little bit about that. How important is it to have a justice reform system for our African American males and minorities?
Well, it's very important. Actually, I tagged Meek Mill. I'm waiting to get a response from him because I love to be a part of it, especially what they're doing with Jay-Z. Justice reform is very important. The thing about prison is that prison is supposed to be designed to change you, to discipline you, so you understand right from wrong as an adult, making adult mistakes or wrong decisions. But prison is the new Wall Street, especially for African Americans. African Americans are the biggest stocks. Okay, so all these people sit around and they bid on us, and each time we come back, our stock increase in value.
Yeah.
So if you input justice reform, guess what? The stock has no value. If it has no value, then what? They have to let you go. That's why it's important to create a way to discover oneself, to do self-transformation, to understand why that you're in prison. You're not in prison because you're just a bad person all the way through to the core. You made mistakes. You did things that you should have done, maybe because of lack thereof, or maybe because, whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, when you come out of prison, you're supposed to be fully transformed, and you're not supposed to come back. It's sort of like a mechanic fixing a car. A lot of mechanics are trained to fix it temporarily. I mean, if you fix the car completely, if you don't come back, that part of the business is not consistent. A doctor.
Right.
Some doctors will only fix you as good as your insurance policy is. If your insurance so you see how prison is. So with justice reform, especially for African Americans, is important because as African Americans, we have so much, I don't even say potential. To me, potential is like saying, well, you could, but maybe not. You can, but no, we are very powerful within our own race. Look at sports. Look at in the medical fields. I've seen I read an article a couple of days ago about one of the youngest doctors who was a black person. One of the youngest pilots was a black person, and all this stuff. But we never show that. That. One of the reasons why is because, and I'm keeping it real. I'll say what I feel.
Go ahead.
Within our own race, we talk about Black Lives Matter, and I know there's been a chaos of controversy of police brutality is different from the street stuff. That's bull crap. How can one hoop and holler and throw in a rage when the police kill one of us, but when your own kind do it, you're subjective of being silent?
Right. You get the bell. You got to get the bell on that. We got to have that same outrage. Yeah, when it's black on black, that's right. Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead.
So what we're showing, we're talking about justice reform in the system. Let's talk about justice reform in the streets within our own
That's
self.
right. There we go.
So what we're saying is that anything after the black race that kill the black race is unacceptable, but black on black is acceptable. Because now what you're saying is that this right here is that a white cop who would kill a black person, it's racism as well. And you know what? It is. It is racism. It is, being targeted to black people. But what about when a guy comes and does a drive-by shooting and his intended target, and I'm keeping it real, when you're in the streets, you are part of life and death. But what about that mother who's walking with her 3 kids and they're all in their head because you want to prove how bad that you are, or you want to because of a street code or whatever.
Right.
And everybody have seen what you've done. But they say, oh, no, we can't snitch. We ain't snitching. But y'all see to see a cop do it or whatever. You video camera, you record it. You still snitching.
Right, like don't be a hypocrite about snitching.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And somebody kill your kid, if you see somebody's kid get shot, I can't tell you, that's street code. Let somebody kill your kid. Can somebody please help me?
Yeah. We were just talking about that.
But why was you so silent when your neighbor kid got shot last year?
Right. There we go. We were just talking about this last week.
And Steve Harvey said that the no snitching rule was made by criminals.
It was because they want you to cover for them.
Exactly.
And so they created the code of no snitching. But like you said, when it's their child, we need somebody to speak up. We know somebody saw. No, you didn't speak up when somebody else's son got shot.
That's
and you're being hypocritical. That's it. Like don't be a hypocritical no snitch person. Be consistent. We can respect that at least. At bare minimum. I mean, it's still not good, but we can respect that.
Wow.
Yeah, my thing is, and I'm gonna make this clear to all the listeners, even the young people. If you're in the streets, I was listening to me as well, because I am an OG for real. I want you to listen to me. Snitching is when you do something, and then you pull someone else in, had nothing to do with what you did because you can't do your time. That's what snitching is.
Right.
Okay, so like me, they wanted 3 of the biggest drug dealers, and they wanted other people in order for me to get a reduction of my time and 75% of my stuff back. But I didn't do that. I did my time. If I would have told on everybody else because of my mistake, that's a snitch. When you kill a child or an innocent person that has nothing to do with the streets, okay, that's not a snitch. That is common sense. Because a child killer, a woman killer, a rapist, all these people, like don't get it twisted. I did some bad things in my life, but it was more based on, the lordship of the streets as far as, money, drugs, whatever. Those are things that you're going to be accustomed to because that's street. But one thing you would never hear about Charles D. Clark. I'm not a child killer. I'm not a rapist or none of that. I didn't even steal. I didn't have to steal. Because people owe money, they have to pay it back. That's street code. If you pay it back then, it goes in whatever direction. But what I'm simply saying is, you talk about a child killer or a rapist or a child molester or whatever. Even a woman beater, I can't stand. That's a coward. Real men don't do stuff like that. So there are just things in life to where you have to understand snitching and just being remotely using common sense on what is right. Because killing kids has nothing to do with selling drugs. People have a choice to get high. People have a choice to buy a product. People have a choice to do all those things. But a kid who's watching cartoons, a kid who's in the playground, who's just beginning life, and you take their life and you call them gangsters, to anybody who's getting that, you're a coward. You're a punk. And where I'm from, when you're a child killer, where I'm from, when you're a woman beater or a child molester or a rapist, you will get got quick.
That's it right there. That's it right there. Yeah, man. That's real talk. That's real talk. That is real talk. You heard it right here on the Kevin Nikee Show. We talking to multi-award winning across the board actor, he's speaker, transformational speaker, and much, much more. Charles D. Clark, social justice advocate, and much, much more. But I got to ask you this, man. You got your degree in psychology. I love it because I got my degree in psychology. You might can talk about this all day.
Here we go.
But you was a supporter of Taraji P. Henson going down to Congress and advocating for addressing the mental illness in today's society. Of course, I follow you. I saw the post, man. Talk a little bit about that. I'm on board with y'all 110% because somebody got to address this mental illness issue quickly.
Very quickly.
Well, with me, I'm not afraid to admit to it. I suffer some type of form of mental illness. I mean, I watched my father die in front of my face. When you're in prison, you're going to suffer some kind of form of mental illness. You're in a cage, that's not no bigger than a person's average kitchen. For all those years, you've been told when to eat, sleep, use the bathroom, all this stuff. When one person makes a mistake, you all have to go down for it. It's a thing to where, that mental illness strikes people in different ways. From a psychological point, we have to look at the environment. What do a person put from the environment that extracts those type of things that triggers, mental illness, from schizophrenia, from, multiple like bipolar issues, just the in-depth forms of depression. People who are depressed because they feel like they have no one. When you live in a world that is blackened by the reality of society that you need in your life to show you that you are more than what the person is telling that you are, then that's where the change come in at. However, with Taraji, like she was saying about her dad and things that, the reason why she did the foundation, I think is very important, especially the Congress. A lot of people who commit murders, or a lot of people who does all these, crazy things, it's because somewhere down the line, the reality of who they are was disrupted. It was derailed by something they call a mental imbalance. And when we don't take that seriously, when we try to chalk it up, he's having a bad day, that bad day becomes mass murder shootings. That bad day becomes suicides. That mass day becomes something horrific on the news to where you're watching your favorite show but it got canceled because they're showing breaking news because somebody had a bad day. The Columbine school shooting, for instance. Now, a lot of people have their opinions on this. I'm going to speak on facts. This is what the facts are right here. What those two guys did was wrong. It's no way around it. Let's make that clear. But let's look at how they was in the right in the beginnings of things, but they took it too far. What I'm saying is this right here. Those two boys was bullied for most of their life. They were spit on. They were smacked in the face. People were taking their lunch. I mean, come on. If somebody did to you every day, you're going to snap too. Now, unfortunately, people were saying, there were two white guys. They was racist because they killed that black boy, the football player. What they didn't realize was that a lot of black people, they let go. They only went after the people that basically teased them or who was laughing at the one that was bullying them. They let a lot of people go. That black guy, and again, just because he's black and I'm black, you can't say right is right, wrong is wrong. You have to speak. If you're going to be real about stuff, be real about it. Sometimes take the race card out. Let's look at how do you treat a human being? He smacked those boys around and spit them. They did nothing to him. Now, I'm not saying he should have. I'm not saying he should have died. He should have died. I wish there was some peace brought about. But guess what? Obviously, the faculty didn't look into the situation deep enough, and they didn't see the signs of that. Bullies create killers. I say it all the time. Bullies create killers because one day it's going to come to you. I'm not going to get smacked in the face no more. They're going to keep spitting in my face, eating my food. Don't think about my mom and my dad. Every time I think about it, I'm putting that magazine in that gun. I'm shining off each bullet. When I go to school in my mind, they killed those people mentally in their mind. They just made it a reality. Every person that did the wrong, they knew, and they said if they push me any further, they will be on that list.
Wow.
And so what I'm simply saying is that mental issues. Taraji's whole point is that, first of all, let's not judge those who have mental issues. Let's not judge them. Let's embrace them. Let's see how can we turn that mental disability and ability to improve their way of thinking, their way of approach of life. Also, too, again, mental issue is not a bad day. It's a serious ongoing problem. When you're saying bad days, again, those bad days turn into more, things of extremities that can cause, fatal action. So with Taraji is one of my greatest inspirations. And when I saw her, she was so passionate. She was crying at the Congress meeting. It was something dear to my heart. That's my sister in Christ. You got nothing but love for her. It's just we have to learn to take life more seriously. That's what I get from this. mental illness, you have spiritual illness. People who are spiritually damaged, that's worse than mental illness.
Right.
And with Taraji, if you listen to some of the things she was saying about people's emotions is extracted from the spirit, from the soul. And whatever cannot be figured out is left upon the brain. Well, if the brain can't figure it out, then what happens? The cause and effect, the reaction, the pros and the cons coming about. There's a battle. And that battle is what affects people's way of saying, how do I deal with this? And ultimately, it's saying that it's two things. Either I kill myself, I can't deal with it at all, or I'm going to make somebody feel what I'm feeling, and maybe they can give me an answer.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, that's powerful right there. That was well said, well put. Very informative and powerful.
Yeah.
Man. This has been awesome, man.
Yes, it has.
Well, listen, my brother, you have been a phenomenal guest. We're going to have to do a part 2 for this, man. We're going to have to do a part 2. We can go on all day. Absolutely, man. But listen, man, continued success and blessings to you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. Like me and Nikee always say, once you come on the Kevin and Nikee show, your family. Man, and let us know how we can support you, man.
Yes.
And listen, man, look, you got our numbers, lock them in, and we're going to keep in contact, even if it's just to encourage one another, say keep going, keep doing what you're doing, keep making a difference, keep going, keep glowing, keep shining, keep rhyming. You know, in church they got to rhyme a little bit. You know what I'm
saying? Of course. And I will say this. I want to give a quick shout out to my Righteous Gemstones family. Thank you, Team Danny McBride, Don Goodman, Adam, Edie, all of them. Also, too, to my Gavin Hook family. Gavin Hook, the series coming soon to Amazon Prime, season 1 and 2. To the great Tony Brown. Tony Brown Productions is one of the most brilliant filmmakers and female black filmmakers I've ever worked with. I mean, she is thebomb.com. Also, to Deron, who's playing Gavin Hook, and the whole entire cast. Love y'all. And last but not least, to my Ball Call family, Listen Productions, George Dibble, Candace Wesley. We're about to do now a Ball Call, The Origin, a full-blown movie on Amazon Prime. It's going to be the bomb.
Nice.
And last but not least, I wanted to shout y'all out because y'all two are doing some great things, and there's so much stuff that's happening. And I'll be, elated to just bring it to your platform. And whatever I can do to be of a great substance to what you're doing, let me know. It's vice versa. I got you.
Absolutely,
awesome.
Man.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much, my brother, man. And put your social media. Somebody want to follow you.
Yeah.
If you want to put your IMDb, your Facebook, Twitter, whatever, so people can follow you, keep up with what you're doing, the big projects you in. Put your stuff out there.
Okay, so it's very simple. If you want to Google me or anything I'm doing, upcoming projects on IMDb or any other events, it is put in Charles D. Clark. And remember, without the E, you have to put the D in the middle. That's my SAG performer name. It's Charles D. Clark. Also on Facebook, on IG, it is Charles D. Clark, 1980. And on Twitter, it is C. Clark Inspire, the number 7. C. Clark Inspire, the number 7.
Nice.
One of the biggest, remember, November is a power month for me, and I want to make sure y'all get on this. May have to do another interview in November. I'm featured in 3 big screen movies. Harriet, by my sis, Cynthia Rebo. I'm in that. I'm featured in that. The Available Wife is also in November. And Charm City, which is a Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith movie. It's coming in November. So there's 3 big screens. And this month, there's a surprise. I can't say. But y'all will see it. If not, I will let you know. And I guarantee you, it's going to blow your mind this month in September.
Okay.
I promise you.
Okay.
So,
hey, let us know, man. We might have to make it out to one of them premieres, man. Let us know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I got you.
Oh, absolutely. Awesome, man.
Nice.
Awesome, man. That is fantastic, man.
Yes.
Fantastic, man. Well, as I said before, man, continued success and blessings, man. Keep in touch, and like I said, let us know how we can support you on this end.
Absolutely.
And that's it, man. To God, we're going to end it on to God be the glory. You know what I'm saying?
Amen. God be the glory.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on our show.
Anytime. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Take care, man.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Man, he was awesome.
Man,
oh my
powerful.
God.
Man, that was, man.
Wow.
Listen, I told y'all what we was in for.
Wow.
I told y'all what we was in for.
Powerful.
Man, listen.
Powerful.
That is an awesome brother right there.
Yeah.
Awesome
Very
brother.
powerful. Very powerful indeed.
Mm.
Awesome. So, I mean, just powerful.
It was powerful.
Just powerful.
It was powerful. I mean, it's like,
just powerful.
If you didn't walk away with something
awesome
from all the nuggets.
Man, just awesome.
That was just powerful.
Awesome.
Man.
I mean, he talked about social justice. He talked about the prison reform. He talked about how his grandmother completely, now that was powerful, how his grandmother completely changed his life in prison.
Gave him his first audition
where she told him, the aunt told him that she thinks that you're the father. You're her son.
Yeah.
And he had to be like him.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome. Man. And he tied in so many nuggets, so many of the acting nuggets. He talked about that method acting, how he talked about that. I mean, it was just an awesome interview. I got so much out of it.
Yeah, he reiterated, once again, it just does my heart well that when we talk about things on the show and we have other celebrity guests come on the show and reiterate what we've been talking about, it reinforces.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he has such a powerful story of transformation. That, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And I know that the best is yet to come for this brother, because he said something. I mean, I don't even want to pick out one thing, because that would kind of do a disservice to everything he shared. But there were so many different things that stuck out to me. But when you have somebody say, I'm not in this to be famous. I'm not in this for the money.
Right.
You see why they're getting it, because they can handle it and they know where to project it in terms of giving the credit.
Matthew McConaughey said that when he got his award. I think it was an Oscar or some award he was receiving, and he talked about guys like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about God because that's how it is.
That's it. That's it. That's why on the show we're gonna talk about God. Yeah. We're not forcing religion on anyone. This is just coming from our perspective, our heart. This is coming from our worldview.
Right.
People can, if you wanna, get in on it, you're more than welcome. You don't have to. We love everybody equally the same. But we're not gonna stop being who we are.
Right.
And the courage and boldness that he had to not only tell his story, give the credit to who gave him the transformation, and be able to, there's a word in theology, it's we overcome by the word of our testimony. Because one thing nobody can refute, that, that song, oh, I know I've been changed. Oh, I know I've been changed.
You know what?
You heard the transformation, you heard the change. And basically what he was saying is not that somebody else can't be an inspiration, motivation, encouragement, but it's like when you have walked through the mud, you could better tell somebody how to not walk through the mud, how you could prevent from walking through the mud. And man, it was just very, very powerful, very inspirational, very motivational, very encouraging. It's just, I knew it. That's all I can say. I just knew what we was heading for, man. And if you wasn't inspired by that, you don't have blood running in your veins. I have to word it like that. I'm encouraged and I'm inspired just by listening to him speak and the difference and impact that he's making. But it's the mindset. It's the perspective. It was powerful, man.
It was. It was very powerful. And I'm just
very powerful.
It was just an awesome interview. And we could have just let him talk.
That's it.
We could have just.
I really didn't want to interrupt. You know what I'm saying? I was like, look, just go ahead.
We got to go on with the show.
Yeah.
But man,
we just have to ask questions. You know what I mean?
We're definitely going to have him back on.
Absolutely.
We were so blessed by the interview, and I know you were too.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going.
Yeah, we definitely got to be a part two.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
All
man,
right.
that was powerful.
That was powerful.
That was powerful.
Yes.
He's a deep brother, man.
He's a very deep brother.
He's on, as they say, he's on a path called straight.
That's right.
No, a street called straight. I think it was one of the streets in the Bible called a street called straight.
Yes.
It was.
Yeah.
Amen.
All right, so
I can't believe I'm lobbying with the church all of a sudden. I know I've been transformed. I know changes are taking place.
Lord have mercy.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it?
Oh my goodness. That was powerful.
Oh my goodness.
That was very, very powerful.
You know what? A transformation is coming. All right.
I tell you.
All right. So, you know what? We're going to take a break. We're going to try to take a break.
Yep.
And when we come back, it's going to be time for News and Sports.
Scholar Professional Editing Firm consists of a specialized group of academic doctors, editors, and statisticians that keep doctoral candidates moving through the academic doctoral process by providing one-to-one group mentorship and all-inclusive editorial services that produce writing advancements that result in exponential movement. The scholars conduct line-by-line editing, proof and copy editing, university-specific format compliance and substantia, done-for-you services on the following documents: doctoral thesis, dissertations, capstone projects, research studies, research proposals, research papers, and oral defense preparations and presentations. The Scholars Professional Editing Group keep you moving. For more information on editorial service or doctoral accelerated mentorship program, visit www.thescholarsedediting.com. That's www.thescholarsedediting.com or contact Dr. Haynes at 281-315-6053.
All right. Man. That was powerful. It was
very, very powerful.
Very powerful indeed.
And you know something, you know when you have been freed from something, when you can share it and talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you're not hiding from your past, but you're using it as an instrument. You're not condoning what you've done, but you're now using it as an instrument to help people. That's what it's all about.
That is completely what it's all
That's
about.
all about.
That is completely what it's all about. I mean,
Man,
awesome show.
I knew it, man. I'm just telling you. Just looking at his resume, I said we're gonna be in for a bigger show than we bargained for. I knew it was gonna be. When I say that, I mean I'm proud of all our guests. All our shows are big shows, but I'm saying that from the standpoint of I knew it was gonna be more than just acting. What you got booked in, you know, what you got cast in, your role. I knew it was going to be more than that, and boy, did it pack a wallet. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah,
it packed a wallet.
Very good show.
Yeah.
Very, very good interview.
Absolutely.
Very good interview indeed.
Yeah.
All right.
So
now it's time for News and Sports.
All right. In
Oh no, it's not good. It's not.
the air got let out of the balloon. All right. Anyway, the Philadelphia Eagles ended their final preseason game getting shut out by the Jets 6-0 and ended with a 1-4 preseason record. But who cares? It's just the preseason. So the Eagles' final defensive end spot is down to Deshaun Hall, Sharice Miller, and Josh Sweat for now. Defensive end Deshaun Hall, who joined the Eagles as a free agent in December, is in a three-way battle for a roster spot. But now that the preseason is over, the highly favored is Hall, 24, who has 6 NFL games on his resume and has the most special team experience among the three. Drafted in the third round by the Carolina in 2017, he joined the Eagles in December and played in the final 5 games, including playoffs. So in East Rutherford, New Jersey, Deshaun Hall is going to sleep easy stemming from that game. He's earned that and more because if the 24-year-old defensive end doesn't make the Eagles roster based on his dominance this preseason, reporters are saying, why are they even playing this game? Hall, who joined the Eagles during the season in 2018, was a standout throughout this preseason despite a nagging shoulder injury and a stinger he suffered on last Thursday night. He led the Eagles in sacks with 4, tackles for loss 4, quarterback hits 11, and forced fumbles 3, and he was among the league leaders in every category too. Heck, it seems like we shouldn't be talking about whether or not Hall has the roster made, but about what his role should be this season. Maybe that's why he isn't worried. He said, I'm relaxed, Hall said on last Thursday night. I feel like whatever is for me is for me. Whatever God has in store for me is going to happen. Whether that means me being here or me being on another team, I'll be grateful for whatever opportunity comes. Didn't that tie right on in with everything we're talking about?
It did.
But for a long time, it seemed like Hall might be the casualty of a numbers game. The Eagles have their top 3 defensive ends in Brandon Graham, Derek Barnett, and Vinnie Curry, and they used 4th-round picks in back-to-back years on Josh Sweat and Sharif Miller. Hall was once a 3rd-round pick, but the Eagles didn't draft him. So you can forget all that, though. Hall has done enough to earn a roster spot, and if he doesn't get it, well, the devalued preseason means even less than we thought. That's it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
all
man.
right.
He was out there. You know, there were a lot of bright spots, even in a dismal 1-4 record, including the shutout 0-6 in the last game. There were a lot of rookies who played well, and a lot of players that showed what they could do, whether it be making the Eagles rosters or another team picking them up. And Deshaun Hall was one of those players that was causing havoc on defense, and I think his performance was such that they would need to make room for him. I think that's going to happen.
All right. Well, you know what that means. Are you ready for some football?
That was it.
Football season.
Football season. That's it.
Well, listen, in news, this is some crazy. You know, people are crazy. Okay. Are we not supposed to say people are crazy?
In psychology, you're supposed to use the term mentally ill, but because of the Kevin and Nikee show, we can say crazy if we want.
Okay. People are crazy. Check this out. In news, in Las Vegas, they have unveiled the new Aaliyah wax statue.
Okay.
Right? Oh, it's just beautiful. It's just gorgeous. It was only beautiful and gorgeous for a minute. Why? Because some fans decided that it needed a makeover.
No.
So what the fan did, there was a photo going around on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram of this fan putting lip gloss on Aaliyah.
Oh, my goodness.
And the statue, the wax statue, Aaliyah has her hand up on her face, and she has her hair behind her hand.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the fan felt as though that didn't look right, so she took the hair from behind the hand and put lip gloss on it.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'm trying to figure out, why are people allowed to touch these statues?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why isn't there some type of case
barrier
around the statues? Why are the fans allowed just to go up and just touch the statue? It's to my understanding that when they did the wax figure of Nicki Minaj, another fan went up to the statue and was humping it. So I'm trying to figure out, why is it just out like that? Where people can just walk up and touch it, and the family were in outrage. The family were so upset. They issued a statement. They said, listen, please do not touch the statue. It is a disrespect. It is a disrespect. The statue was put up to, honor the anniversary of her passing, her tragic ending in the plane crash. So now, Las Vegas got the statue up there, but they should have put some type of protection up there from these wax figures to keep people from touching it. And they even, somebody was even caught touching Beyonce's wax figure, trying to make, they said that they didn't like the face that Beyonce had on the wax figure, so they were trying to make the face better by putting blush on it and carrying on. And Aaliyah's trademark, Aaliyah always wear lip gloss, where her lips are always shiny, so they wanted to gloss up her lips.
You know what the sad thing about it? The sad thing about it is people, I'm going to infer, that's a psychology term, that it appears that these people think that they're doing the right thing. And that's what's so sad. As disrespectful as it is, and it's like we forget that these people have family members who are still grieving, hurting, or can be impacted in some kind of way. And it's just like, I like your idea. Maybe they need to do what they did at the Franklin Institute with the marble, put some things in cases, have security up there, because we cannot trust people to behave in this day and age.
All I'm saying is this. When I go down there to see the figure, the wax statue, if I see somebody touching it defacing or whatever, I'm going to just start swinging. That's how that's going to go.
Now, Nikee,
We gonna,
Nikee, what's that movie say? What did Chris Tucker say to, I think it was Rush Hour 1? He said, now, violence has never solved anything. Yeah.
Don't touch the statue while I'm there.
Right.
Don't do that. I would be so upset.
Yeah.
You know, the wax figure, like I said, it marks the 18th year anniversary of Aaliyah's tragic death in the plane crash. You know, and Aaliyah died when she was 22 years old. So it was a big deal, big thing for the family to have, you know, the wax figure up there. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
Nobody, don't touch nothing. Don't touch Aaliyah. Don't touch Little Kim. Don't touch Sierra, whoever is up there. Don't touch nobody. Just walk by and look at it. Take your picture and just go on about your business. Why can't you do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Come on, man. Oh, my goodness.
They ought to add a feature into the statue where it slap you if you, like,
listen.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it move or something like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Or grab you or something.
See, you know, we want to say, we're on
you know
the
what I'm
same
saying?
page.
It'll be a heck of a deterrent. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
We're on the same page. And last but not least, we talked about it in our interview, but shout out to Meek Mill. Meek Mill is now Meek free.
Yeah.
He is now free. And we are just so happy for it. And I think I saw a photo on Facebook where he got a street named after him.
Yeah.
Shout out. He gets the clapper.
Yeah. So just in terms of details, Meek pleaded guilty to gun possession 11 years ago.
Yeah, 2008.
2008 or whatever it was when he was, 19 years old?
Yeah.
He pleaded guilty to possession of the gun, but not for selling narcotics and not for pointing the gun at the police.
That's right.
And that was proven through the Free Meek documentary TV series on Amazon Prime. Check it out for yourself. And they said that he would not go back to jail because of time served. So he is now off probation. He's the face and a voice for social justice reform. And he got a street named after him. And he said one of the captions in the post is, "You won't be thrown to jail for popping willies on this."
I know that's right. You want to pop a Millie? Go on Meek Mill
Go on Meek Street. You know what I'm saying? Pop willies, baby.
Go on Meek Mill Street. Pop all the willies you want. Now, once you go outside the street, I don't know what to say.
That's it. You on your own. You on your own.
Meek Mill, you get the bell. Yes. Congratulations. He's going to be doing some good things.
Yeah, it was a long fight.
Doing some good things. It was a long fight for him. You guys saw it. I pray you saw it. He's going to be doing some good things with that prison reform, and I'm here for it all. I can't wait to see.
That's it.
I can't wait to see.
That's it.
All right, that's it.
All right, so we're going to take a break, and we come back. It's going to be time for my favorite part of the show. We're going to find out what's bothering Nikee. It's the Kevin and Nikee Show.
On iHeartRadio.
Be everywhere. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
What's up now? This is a big party, man. I can dig it.
Mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Father, we don't need to escalate. You see, war is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Picket lines and picket signs, don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on. What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? Right now. whether they judge us simply because our hair is long. Oh, you know we've got to find bring some understanding here today. Pick it loud and pick it sound. Don't punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me. You can see what's going on. Yeah, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. I'll tell you what's going on. Right on. Right on.
All right.
I like when you go, there you go. Yeah, man. All right. Go ahead. I'm not gonna get in the way. You see how I bailed out on you.
You can do it.
No, I just want.
No, you can practice.
No, it was funny because you were saying it by yourself and I was quiet.
Yeah, I know you were quiet. You left me hanging. Why you do that?
So, no, I was just excited about getting to my favorite part of the show.
Clean it up.
I just wanted to find out what's bothering Nikee. Instead of what's going on, we're going to find out what's bothering Nikee. What's bothering you?
Okay. You know what? It's, although it's been, some crazy nonsense going on, nothing is really bothering me. I'm really happy right now. I'm happy for Meek Mill, and he's no longer in the prison system. Congratulations on that. He's been in that system for a long time, since 2008, and Meek Mill has been changed to Meek Free. He got the street named after him, and I'm just really excited about what he's doing right now and with this prison reform, because it's needed. Yeah. It's needed. Like I said before, I don't know if you guys checked out Meek Mill, the Free Meek
documentary TV series.
Documentary. I mean, you guys got to check this out. And just looking at these statistics, and like I said a few weeks ago, like I said last week and a few weeks ago before that, when somebody does a crime, and you hear about the crime that they have done and they go to jail, like, okay, well, they stole something from the store. Well, you don't know the back end of that. And how these people, African American males and minorities, you don't know how they're treated. You don't know what is being tacked onto their sentence to keep them in jail for a long time. You don't know that. And so when you get the shocker, oh, so-and-so stole some bubble gum from the corner store, he got 5 years for stealing bubble gum. Wait a minute. How did you get 5 years for stealing bubble gum from the corner store?
And the murder is out on bail.
Yeah, so it's like with this prison reform thing now, it makes you in the Meek Mill story, it makes you think. It makes you think deeper about what's really going on. And I'm gonna tell you right now, we gotta get involved. We have to get involved. You know what? Something is bothering me. Okay, I'm gonna change it. Something is about what's this no snitching? Snitches get stitches and different things like that. And like we talked about on the show, and Steve Harvey backed that up, where he said that the no snitching rule was made by criminals. So are we supporting? So we're supporting the criminals now. Law-abiding citizens are supporting the criminals.
Right, and then they jump ship when it ends up being their family, and that's what makes this no snitch rule and the people who adhere to it so hypocritical. And it's just like, and they think that this creed is honorable. It's something honorable. Nah, I'm not no snitch. And Charles differentiated.
He broke
it down between what's a snitch and what's not a snitch.
What it really is. And
yeah.
I'm so glad he did that.
Yeah.
You know, we have gotten it wrong.
Yeah.
We got it completely wrong.
And the no snitch rule that was put in place by criminals was to help them continue to get away with crime.
Yeah.
It's not no snitch to do good. It's no snitch to do bad.
Right.
You notice no snitch is always attached to something negative, something bad. It's never something. How about I'm going to give this poor person some money and I don't want you to snitch about that because I don't want to get all the credit. How about that? It's never in that context. It's never. It's always in the context of somebody doing something negative or antisocial.
Yeah.
But like I said, when the shoe is on the other foot, when it's your son or daughter or your family member, now everybody want to throw the no snitch rule. Well, no, don't. Whatever you do, no snitcher. Don't call the cops when it's your family. Don't call the cops when your house get broken in. No snitcher. Don't call the cops when your tires get slashed.
That's right.
I respect that person.
I respect that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, you're a hypocrite.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all I got. Let's put an end. Let's put a ban on this no snitching policy.
Nonsense. You was about to say it the first time. It's nonsense, and that's why our communities have gone down.
Yeah.
That's why. And let me throw out the other side. I got to throw out the other side because we try to be balanced here on the Kevin Nikee Show. I understand you have to be careful because there's retaliation out here for people speaking up and things like that. You don't want to have your family, your children retaliated on for being a self-proclaimed community activist and stuff like that. But there are lots of ways that you can get involved and remain anonymous. That would be my encouragement for those that might be fearing retaliation or against you or your family or your property. There are ways to get involved, and you can remain anonymous. But what happened to our community, what was the beginning of the downfall, was when we started adhering to this no snitch rule, and our communities went down, and then our communities went down. That's it.
Our communities went down big time.
And we haven't recovered since.
We haven't recovered since.
We haven't recovered since.
Yep. Stop this nonsense. Get involved. Get involved. Stop this nonsense. Get involved with what's going on.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
That was good.
That's all I got. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Makes me sick to my stomach.
Yeah, no. Because I can't stand the hypocrisy. You know what I mean? The blindedness when it's your turn to go through the storm. Now you want everybody to speak up. You're on the news. We know somebody know the answer. But you didn't speak up like Charles said, like I'm saying, like Nick's saying. You didn't speak up when somebody else's kid got hit by a car or something like that. You know what I mean? It's sad. It's sad, the blindedness and the willful blindedness and what's the word I'm looking for? The selectiveness in it.
Yeah.
You cool long as somebody else, but then when it's your family, you want to abandon the rule. No, stick to the rule.
Yeah.
Stick to the no.
Stop having selective blindness.
Yeah. Don't be selective. Don't be a hypocrite.
Yeah. Don't be no hypocrite.
Yeah.
That's it. You all right?
Mm-hmm.
He done got heated.
We get to put it out here.
Yeah.
We putting truth out here. We putting stuff that's speaking to bettering the human condition.
That's right.
And as long as it falls in line with that, and it's encouraging, it's inspirational, it's motivational, and it could be motivating, encouraging, inspirational in the form of correction.
That's right.
Or rebuke.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And this is correction in the form of rebuke that's motivating, inspirational, and motivational, and that'll work.
That's it. That's all I got. All right. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, man, I'm trying to tell you, I'm super excited about this. It's going to be time for my favorite part of this show, Kevin's Corner. When we come back, it's the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. We're everywhere, and we'll be back.
Plan ahead, plan ahead. That's what the wise man said. Success is hard to win, but you can win it If you do a lot of thinking in advance and make the necessary preparations and don't leave everything to be crowded into the very last minute. Plan ahead in advance. Don't leave a thing to chance. And if you want to wind up rich and famous, just be careful and meticulous in everything you do, and just make sure your work is not slipshod or sloppy or negligent, or else people will go around saying you are an ignoramus. So insist on absolute perfection and do all your things perfectly. If you strive day and night, in a long time you might be almost as perfect as me, as I. For the toughest things in life are never easy. Where's the next part of the music? Who's got the next part of the music?
I got it.
Oh, thanks. Plan ahead, do what the wise man said. Just remember, in 1,000 years we'll all be dead. So plan ahead. Oh, the wise man's dead, but before he died he said, plan ahead, plan ahead, plan ahead.
You're listening to the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio.
All right.
I like that.
Yeah. Who does he remind you of? It's a comedian called, the first name, Jerry.
He the whole thing. Jerry Lewis.
He kind of reminds you of Jerry Lewis. Yeah.
Jerry, I was getting ready to say that. Jerry Lewis. Yeah, on one of those movies for the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was Alan Sherman playing ahead.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, how he jammed everything.
Yeah.
You know, being playful. I really like that.
Yeah,
I really like that. Okay. You know what? Yes, plan ahead. Well, you need to make sure you plan ahead. I'm telling you.
Well,
some people don't do that.
Well, that's actually a sign that you are operating on a high vibration.
When you plan ahead?
You plan ahead.
Yeah, some people don't do that. Some people, what is the saying? I just go where the moment takes me or something like that. You know,
I mean, it has its place, but you want to plan ahead.
You do want to plan ahead.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. I'm excited for it because we are moving on to the next 2 points. So now it's time for my favorite part of the show. Kevin's Corner.
All right, we're going to keep this high vibration train moving. Yes, sir. So you heard the song.
Plan ahead.
Plan ahead. That's what the wise man said.
Plan ahead.
Yeah. So we're going to go to two more characteristics that you know you're operating on a high vibration. We had 39 and 40.
Yeah.
This is week number 21. But before you plan ahead, you got to think ahead.
That's right.
And that basically means to prepare for a future event or situation by thinking about what might happen and or could occur. This also includes thinking before you speak and thinking before you act.
That's right.
So which brings us to our next point, which you heard in the theme of the song. Because you think ahead, you're able to plan ahead. And that means to think carefully about what might happen in the future or to make plans for things you want to do or you would like to see happen in the future. So the new year is a natural time to think ahead and make plans for the future. Planning, that means expecting and arranging. And being a successful planner and organizer has a lot to do with the ability to plan ahead. Usually, the more time you spend planning something, the more successful you will be. As the old saying goes, fail to plan and plan to fail. Use these tips to help you make planning ahead your new habit. It's just 5 points real quick. Number one, look into the future. We're not talking about being a psychic, but just think down the road. Anticipate needs. Number 2, 3, use your calendar. Number 4, ask questions. And number 5, work ahead. Those points again, number 1, look into the future, look down the road. 2, anticipate needs. 3, use your calendar. 4, ask questions. And 5, work ahead. That's it.
Nice. I love it. That's awesome.
Yes. That's
Plan ahead. Plan ahead.
Because that's what the wise man said. If you forget to plan ahead, you can plan to fail. So that's why we want you to plan ahead.
That's
funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's all I got. So that's it.
All right.
So we're going to put it out there?
So put it out there.
All right. We hope that you have enjoyed another episode, another exciting episode, another exciting week, another exciting show, another exciting guest. Thank you from the top, middle, and bottom of our hearts for tuning in each week. You guys are our motivation, inspiration, and encouragement. As long as y'all keep tuning in, we're going to keep bringing y'all hot shows. And so we want to say thank you. And so I'm actor Kevin D. Benson. You can find me on Facebook, Kevin D. Benson. I'm on Instagram, actor Kevin D. Benson. I'm on Twitter, at Kevin D. Benson. And don't forget to check us out on YouTube, actor Kevin D. Benson, actress Nikee Warren. We got a lot of stuff going on there, like the multi-award winning short films, The News and Honor. And we're looking forward to September 14th at the Jamaica Performing Arts Center in Queens, New York. We'll keep y'all posted. Hopefully we'll bring home some hardware.
Yeah, y'all. And you can find me on Facebook, Nikee Warner, on Twitter, at Nikee Warner, on the gram. Hello, I'm Nikee, that's spelled HELLOIMNIKEE. You can find our show on Facebook, The Kevin Nikee Show, on Twitter, at Kevin Nikee Show, and on the gram, The Kevin and Nikee Show. If you have any questions, comments, concerns regarding our show, hit us up, The Kevin Nikee Show at yahoo.com. You have any questions, comments, concerns for Dr. Charles D. Clark?
That's it.
Hit us up, The Kevin Nikee Show at yahoo.com. Send us a message. We'll read it to him and get the answer. And like we always say, who knows your letter can be featured on our show. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Amazon Prime. Check us out. Follow The Kevin Nikee Show. Follow us. I mean, we got some awesome things going on, man. I'm telling you, I'm here for it all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for it all. It's just exciting.
Yeah. And we got some big stuff on the horizon too. We're gonna keep y'all guys posted, man. And thank you guys for following our journey as we continue to go and flow and glow and show. And act like we know. And then
coming back like Paco, because that's how we go.
And bring a combo that'll go for show. It's the Kevin and Nikee Show on your phone door. Man, listen around, man. We ain't playing.
It's the Kevin Nikee Show on iHeartRadio.
Listen to us each week. You know we gonna flow.
That's it, y'all, because we got to go.
That's it, y'all, because we got to go. This is the Kevin Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. We're everywhere, and we're
out of here.
Peace.
There you are, looking at
ain't loving nothing. If I die, I'm gonna be high, no tears, all of a sudden bluffing. Never finger on the lever, selling records. And J Boogie leather ready to record whenever. What I need is that scholar that could capitalize my dollar. Capital size when it hit it, make me wanna holler. I do run my mouthpiece with a vengeance. Start repenting if you didn't in the beginning. You should hit your knees and do whatever pleases you, long as you pleasing me. I'm all you need, a decoy, watch Brett, kill and destroy. You the last one, so deaf and bad, boy. I don't need no one else but you, baby. Believe me, what I say is true. I don't need no one else. I don't need no one. Tell me what you want me to do. No one else but you. I don't need no one else but you. You gotta believe me.
You have been listening to the Kevin and Nikki Show on iHeartRadio.